Welcome to the SaaS Revolution Show, a podcast by SaaStock. Here we interview SaaS founders from around the world who've been there and done that, as they share the ins and outs of how they built their businesses, their operations, their path to securing investment, and more. Our mission with the podcast is to help you, the founder, learn how to scale your SaaS, maintain your well-being, and navigate the complexities of this ever-changing industry. I'm your host, Alex Theuma, and together we'll explore the good, the bad, and the ugly in the journey to SaaS success. Welcome back to the SaaS Revolution Show. I'm your host, Alex Theuma, CEO founder at SaaStock, general partner at Back Future Ventures, and delighted to be joined by a good friend who's coming on the podcast for the first time, which is kind of strange, given that I think we've known each other since 2018. But delighted to have you, Nathan Latka, CEO founder of Founderpath, on the show. Welcome, Nathan.
Alex, appreciate you having me.
Why did it take so long to get you on the podcast? Was it because I didn't invite you enough?
I feel like every time we get together, we're enjoying a meal and it's a podcast in itself. We just never thought to record it. So this is the first time we're recording something like this.
We should record it. We should record our conversations over dinner. And I think, we can talk about that next week when I'm in Austin. But, and actually I will be having somebody, I think on the Thursday, following me around, filming me. I'm not sure if they want to film me eat some Terry Black's barbecue, but I could do that. But also you've kindly invited me to your studio. You're running a webinar to about 300 to 500 SaaS founders there. And that's hopefully going to make the cut for this SaaStock USA promo. So excited to see the studio there and see how you do that.
Yeah, we're looking forward to having you. And there's a lot of great things in Austin. There's a founder momentum here. Your SaaStock local here in Austin is always packed. I've gone to a couple. They're slammed. So it's going to be great to have you down here. And only, obviously just only a month or two ahead of the big event.
Yeah, exactly. So SaaStock USA is happening in May in Austin, 13th to the 14th. And on the Monday, there's a private gathering for the SaaSOpen community, and would also be running the AI First conference. So excited for SaaStock USA coming back for the third time in Austin. It's going to be the best SaaS event of the year, certainly in the US. And yeah, can't wait. And I think Nathan, or I'm sure some people might be tuning in and they're wanting to learn more about the SaaSopen SaaStock partnership, the acquisition news that broke in December, which maybe broke the internet or broke LinkedIn for a little bit. But knowing you, and so I'm this British, we're different cultures. We're both quite similar in many respects, but I'm kind of this guy that's like, oh yeah, okay, maybe we should tell a little bit more now and just tell how things are going. You've always got this marketing hat on. It's like, hey Alex, no, let's get people to SaaStock USA. Let's talk about it there. If they want to find out more, come and chat to us in person. And so on this podcast, I don't think we'll reveal too much. We'll stick to that. I'm taking your lead, which I think is a smart one. And people want to find out more about the SaaSopen and SaaStock partnership. Come to SaaStock USA and just chat to me and Nathan, and you'll learn much more about it there. But very exciting because we've been talking about doing more together for years, and this is that big step, and it makes a lot of sense. So glad.
Well, and it was just to foreshadow a bit, I mean, this was a tough negotiation. If you know me, I run a fund. I negotiate with founders all day long to deploy capital into the businesses. And so I'm constantly negotiating, and I like this kind of thing. So, I mean, I feel like this deal fell apart almost, 900 times, but on the back of our relationship since 2018, we're able to get across the finish line. And it's just really important, especially we're going to talk about sort of the age of AI and all of us being on digital devices all day long. The real magic happens, right? When you get sort of small curated groups, even if they're embedded in these larger conferences like SaaStock, that's where the magic happens. And you share the same vision that I do. So excited that we were able to get across the finish line, but we'll talk more in detail about the price, the timeline, the negotiation, what actually happened, all that stuff live May 12th and 13th and 14th here in Austin, Texas at SaaStock.
Yeah, looking forward to that, Nathan. And so AI, the last couple of years, the hottest topic, it seems to be getting hotter, right? And we want to talk about this today, specifically, let's say the impact on SaaS from what you've seen, how SaaS companies, SaaS founders are using AI as well. But I guess I kind of want to start and I would say over the last 6 months, and it's crept into this year, there's still a lot of clickbait, and some of it is more than clickbait. We saw Satya Nadella come out and saying, like, he didn't say it's going to be the death of SaaS, but effectively, to these words, which, I sort of wrote a riposte to because I sort of disagree. But what are your thoughts around, overall, just broadly, the impact of AI in SaaS, and should the SaaS market be worried? Should a conference like SaaStock, be worried, about the impact of AI and what that means?
Well, I disagree with the Microsoft CEO, and I'll give you guys an example. You're all SaaS founders, or you're on growth teams, or at the C-suite at SaaS companies. And when you guys go in each month and you look at your paying customers, if you're smart, you're looking at the underlying usage metrics, right? So if you sell an email marketing tool, you're saying, okay, this customer's paying $500 a month, but how many emails did they send last month? And many of you guys, when you do that analysis, it happens to me too. You go, oh, a bunch of our paying customers sent 0 emails last month. Should we email them and say, hey, why aren't you using it? No, we don't want to eat anything. We don't want to email them because then they'll cancel, right? There's this sort of like, what do you do about it? Do you attack that because you know that 0 usage is a precursor to upcoming churn? Or do you just ignore it and hope they start using it again? It's a tricky situation. What AI is going to do is it's going to turn that model on its head. You cannot hide anymore because the best tools that make the most money will deliver the most value as measured by usage. So I think, the reason I disagree with Satya Nadella is because, yes, he has a clickbait headline and, says software is dead. But really what's going to happen is if we refresh every software company's pricing page in 2 years, it's going to not say, starter, middle, enterprise, $700 a month, $7,000 a year, call us for a demo. What it's going to say is, we help you email your email list, 100,000 emails per month. It's all going to be credit and usage based. In other words, you won't be able to just make money when folks aren't getting direct value. So this is great for the consumer. It's great for the SaaS company because they'll build on a stronger foundation. It's real earned revenue, not unearned revenue. And so I think, Alex, that's going to be the biggest shift we see.
It feels like all natively born SaaS companies today are really like they're AI powered SaaS companies, right? They're building AI in, at the core of their applications, right? And perhaps are AI first companies, but effectively it's still a SaaS service, but it's kind of powered. It has that AI power within it. But there will be a whole host of SaaS companies that have been built over the last decade, even some, more recently is like 2 years ago, that haven't got like AI at its core, that are obviously seeing that, AI is all that everybody is talking about and, how it's going to impact software, and thinking about, okay, do we really need to rebuild the whole product, potentially? Rebuild maybe a bit of the culture of the business and, our go-to-market, our pricing, and so on. You mentioned the pricing sort of reference there. But like, what about those, let's say, historical kind of legacy companies? Like, what are your thoughts? What are you seeing? What are people talking about? Like, what they need to do now? It's not something that they can ignore, surely.
Yeah, I mean, I think any founder thinking about how do I stuff the word AI, LLM, or agent in my website header is thinking about it the wrong way. What you should look at is, as you onboard your customers into your app every single month, where are the friction points? And can you add chat-based inputs by the user to onboard faster? Though that's what it really means to be sort of AI powered, in my opinion. How do you get your business customer to value the output faster? And an example of this would be, I used to use, Alex, both Upwork and Fiverr. And when I would go into both of those and post a job for some contractor role, it would take me about 15 to 20 minutes to write up the project description. Well, now if I go into Upwork, they've changed that interface. I don't have to manually type the description. What I do is I just type what I need done. So I might say, I need someone to redesign my ClickFunnels page and then actually code it in ClickFunnels and launch it. And based off that input, it will generate the full project description, and I post it and I get the value faster. I find the contractor I need quicker. So the smartest SaaS founders today are thinking about the same things they've always thought about. How do I get customers onboarded faster? How do I get them to value quicker? And they're using AI and conversational agents to help make that process have much less friction.
And I guess obviously listening to that, and I don't disagree, to any SaaS founders that are listening or companies that are listening that simply put AI in their URL or just put it on the website, but actually, they're just whitewashing it and not delivering AI functionality. They're ones that are likely to be left behind, right?
I think so, right? I mean, you might get a short-term boost, right? If you're trying to go raise equity right now and you figure out a creative way to stick AI in the front page of your deck, like, okay, some VC that maybe doesn't understand AI but wants to buy into the hype might give you a pumped up valuation, but it's very short-term thinking, in my opinion. It's very short-term thinking. I mean, the actual tools that should have AI in their title are the infra plays that help you launch AI for your tools, right? So, a great new software company that gets launched that is actually AI based might say something like, you can use AI to onboard customers faster. We give you the plug and play model to help you do that, right? That's an actual AI tool that helps you use AI in your interface. So, but there's a lot of marketing and sales companies out there right now, sort of like slapping it on. It doesn't work as great, and I think maybe another example on that would be like Gong, right? Gong, they might put AI in their website header, but like really, where can AI be used in Gong to help move quicker, help sales reps move quicker? Well, auto transcriptions, right, from the recordings, pulling out more knowledge from those. Those are all effectively conversational agents. And I believe what Gong is doing on the back end is they're building RAG databases behind an LLM and a conversational agent for each customer. RAG database is basically a private repository of all your Gong data that they have on you as a customer. And then they use that database to surface more valuable information to you in the Gong interface.
And you mentioned like earlier in around VCs, right? And okay, let's say if a company just put AI on their deck or on their website, I think like a savvy VC will probably like find that out like quick enough. But are you also seeing from, let's say, your VC network that they're only investing in AI companies or AI like powered SaaS companies? Or is there still some interest in, let's say, almost like the traditional SaaS applications if there is no AI? Has the VC kind of interest just totally shifted in that? I think like from some tier one VCs, if I look at like maybe what Accel are doing and so on, I think it's only like AI companies kind of right now, but just interesting to see what you're seeing.
I don't have a lot of data points there because I'm mostly on the debt side on these deals. We've deployed about $180 million to 515 software founders so far. But what I would tell you, the smartest VCs that I follow and read about, they have real conviction about very certain spaces, right? So they might go really deep on software for doctors. And if they have an idea, if the VC develops a thesis on how that VC, he or she thinks about AI for a doctor's office, they're going to go look for a tool that sort of does that sort of thing. I think, saying sort of it's SaaS first or AI first or LM first or whatever, it's hard for me to conceptualize that because I like to just get in and talk about what it actually is. It's software that helps a doctor's office get more clients faster. Okay, how are you using AI to do that?
Yeah, it's still software, but if it has shifted and it has AI, it's AI enabled. It has some AI power within that, and within that, I guess from what I was seeing into like, is AI killing SaaS? And again, I've said that I don't believe so. Mm-hmm. I really believe that AI is like a great tailwind for SaaS companies, a great enabler for them to improve their products, to improve that user experience, to get more user adoption, and then hopefully grow their companies faster, right? So I see it very much as a positive, but I think there's still, I think we and being in our positions and others have this like education to do like somewhat just to inform the market that I think they shouldn't be worried about like the death of SaaS, but actually how it's really going to help and enable.
Yeah, 100%. And I'll give you this part of the recording here just so I can show you. Like these are the tools that SaaS companies are using, the marketing teams are using to do prompt marketing right now. There are tools like Lovable, right? So if you're a software founder or software growth team watching this right now, and maybe you want to be like HubSpot, you know how HubSpot, Alex, at the bottom of the page, they have all these free tools here. Mm-hmm. Like as a marketer, you might go, I really want this. It's good lead gen, but like I need an engineer to help me build my version of website greater. Well, no, now I can just go here and say, hey, build a version of HubSpot's website greater for me. And it's going to basically write the code for you, right? We did it over here. Ohara.ai is another example. I'm not logged in right now, but I could log in and show you, like, we're building free tools on here. So it's called prompt marketing. So like when you talk about enabling and enablers of software, this is exactly what you mean. I mean, this is in the market. This is what I see that backs up sort of what you mean, which is anyone can write code now, including marketers. True or false, there will be more software companies 5 years from now. 100% true, because writing code now is like writing a blog post. I mean, everyone's going to have software. The question is going to be who can distribute it the best.
Yeah. On that point, and I don't know if you've been tempted, but I had a fleeting moment when you see these new AI applications where it's like, actually you can build a SaaS company, you know, just with an idea and convert it right into a SaaS tool. And I was like, well, I've run a SaaS events business and community for 10 years. I've got a fund. Maybe I should come up with an idea and build a SaaS company as well. Having said that, the reason I didn't pursue that, you know, further than idea is like, I just don't have enough time. You can build the tool, but then, as you said, it's like the distribution and running the company, and like I don't have the bandwidth for it, right? But I think it's this great enabler now. You know, we've gone from, I guess, kind of low code to no code was, you know, a bit of an enabler for like non-technical companies. But now this is a leap ahead, right, from idea to application. So likely, as you said, we're going to just see, you know, thousands more, you know, software companies be born from this.
And the most in-demand job title over the next 12 months, I believe, will be a prompt marketer.
Okay, interesting. And I guess kind of on that, on prompts and sort of like segueing a bit into like ChatGPT, like how are you seeing, or even like DeepSeek or, you know, equivalent tools, like SaaS companies use these tools to, I guess, kind of help them? And maybe how are you using it yourself within your own business?
Yeah, I looked at all of the conversational agents, right? So that's Claude, ChatGPT, Perplexity, Gemini by Google, DeepSeek. These are called conversational agents. And the value to a software company is, well, let me take a step back. If you go look at G2.com and Capterra and GitApp, all of their traffic over the past 12 months is down almost 80%. Why? Because if you want to buy an email marketing tool, you used to go to those sites to look at the reviews and pick. Well, now you just ask ChatGPT, what's the top email marketing tool, right? And that's how people are making buying decisions. So the question for every founder and growth team listening right now is, go do that for your own company. What does a potential customer looking for you ask usually in a Google search? Put it into the conversational agent. And when you ask that agent for a list of the top email marketing firms, if you sell email marketing, do you show in the top 3? Do you show in the top 10? Right? That's the new front page of Google. And so what I would tell you is, like, one of the things we underwrite at Founderpath, right? We're putting out real money and it's debt. We don't even get the upside of equity. So we look at real risk. We love it when we do a traffic analysis on a company and we see the traffic that they are getting from ChatGPT or Claude or Perplexity or Gemini just ramping. And you know, the only way that those companies get that traffic, those free leads from the conversational agents, is you have to start from a really healthy base of SEO. So is your domain rating above a 60? Do you have a healthy backlink profile? How long has your website been around? All of those things will increase the likelihood that the conversational agents list you in the results and then drive you traffic.
Okay, understood. So there is no real way to, let's say, game it or pay to be within the top 3 search results on a conversational agent at the moment. Like you have to have a good SEO strategy, like historically, but also moving forward to ensure that you're ranking within that.
Yeah, I would say there. If you're listening to this going, how to make sure I rank, and you want like the closest thing to a cheat code that I can come up with, the 3 things are: make sure your core website domain rating, use Ahrefs or SEMrush to look it up, is above a 50. Number 2 is go into Ahrefs or SEMrush and look at your most popular blog post or your most trafficked pages on your website today, and go in and update the Title 1 tags. It might say, like for SaaStock, it might say your Title 1 tag for SaaStock might say, you know, the largest or most successful software conference for SaaS founders. Well, the question everyone needs to ask themselves, or is your Title 1 tags, is that also the question that your potential future ticket buyers are going to be asking ChatGPT, right? You want to rewrite your Title 1 tag, your title tags, to match what your potential future customers you're trying to close are searching for in ChatGPT, the same way you used to optimize your Title I and metadata descriptions for what you wanted to show in Google search. So for someone like Founderpath, who we sell, non-dilutive capital, we're not going to put our Title I tags and say things like, the premier capital source for software founders, best in the world. What we're going to say is top 3 non-dilutive capital sources for software companies. Or I'm trying to think about what are my potential future customers searching in the agents, and then I'm making my landing pages match that. That's number 2. So domain rating, Title I tags. And then lastly, you should send an email blast to your current user base and tell them all to go to ChatGPT, search, like in my case, the top non-dilutive capital sources for software founders. And then basically in that email, I'll tell all of our users, hey, if Founderpath isn't listed, ask ChatGPT, why didn't you mention Founderpath? Because what you're doing then is you're training your entire user base to go train the language learning model that powers Claude and ChatGPT to show you, right? So whoever does that the fastest, that's the best way to gamify the system. Domain rating above 50, Title I tags, and turning all of your users into marketers for you.
Very clever. On that last point, how many users will, I guess these are like the loyal fans, the advocates that will probably do that. But for people to take out their time, and I know it's only like a quick search, but to kind of respond to that email, I guess for you, if you've done that, was it impactful?
Well, it's remember, when you put on an event, you ask for a review. You send an email out saying, please review the event. Same thing with software companies. So about all software companies, they say, please leave us a review on G2 at certain moments or Capterra or whatever. The new review is what I just told you. The new review after a software event is going to be, hey, listen, we're really trying to save money on marketing dollars. Would you mind going to ChatGPT really quick and typing top SaaS marketing conference? And if you don't see SaaStock, can you just ask the agent, why didn't you mention SaaStock? And then say, I was just there yesterday. It was great. Da-da-da-da. That's the new review. It's just all those reviews are now going to train the language learning models. And whoever does that the fastest with the most volume of real conversations from your users and those agents are going to win the top spots in those recommendations.
What about using conversational agents, around outbound? Certainly, I'd seen a lot of talk probably online on LinkedIn about, all outbound is just going to be, AI powered and therefore it's going to be harder for people to break through, and people are going to recognize that, what is an AI email, versus what is a human touch email. And I think my initial thoughts were, okay, let's be more human touch, right? Not use AI to kind of break through like when we're doing outbound. But I've had a couple of conversations of late, one on the podcast, I think with the CRO of Data Rails last week, which I think is going out today, and a few other SaaS founders, that it seems to be, okay, they have a multi-channel approach. They're doing inbound and outbound. But on the outbound side, they are getting a ChatGPT to create the emails, and then it's being sent out, from the CEO's email, and seeing some success from that, and kind of, working on that and almost replacing the SDR sort of function. Are you seeing similar things, or how SaaS companies are using that from from an outbound perspective?
I think going back to 2020, before people were doing what you just described with outbound emails, I would get emails from real sales reps all the time that were terribly written, and they'd go right to spam. I'd also get emails from CEOs that were really well written, and I would click them, or I'd reply and I engage. Nothing changes. All that changes now is that people with less resources can maybe get an outbound campaign going faster. But if you don't structure it in a way that captures the recipient's attention and gets them to reply, it's just useless. You're just spraying and paying. You're just paying for a ChatGPT and credits that got no value. So this is why I tell you, I think the biggest in-demand job titles here is going to be prompt marketing. What I mean by that is, in a world where everyone has access to these same tools, who wins? What cold email does Alex and Nathan, busy CEOs, reply to when they open their inbox every morning? And the answer is going to be whoever writes the most creative subject line, or whoever writes the most creative copy. AI is never going to solve that for you, right? So, I can tell you on our side, I'll give you a real example at Founderpath, where when I hear people talking about AI with outbound, the closest thing, when I say, what is it actually? The most powerful tools we're seeing our portfolio companies use today are the waterfall enrichment tools. People used to have a HubSpot instance with 10,000 leads, and the job title would never update after the original signup, which happened 4 years ago. Well, now these waterfall enrichment tools like Clay, for example, you can effectively run on all 10,000 leads you've captured for the past 5 years and say, update all their job titles with a click. Or you could say, go look up, if I'm trying to sell to Alex at SaaStock, go look up SaaStock on LinkedIn, and then go look at the first name of the most recent employee that is no longer at SaaStock. So why am I doing that? Well, because I've already in my head written the subject line to get Alex's attention. The subject line is going to be, saw you just lost, Gary. You're going to open that email as Alex Theuma. You're going to go, whoa. Like, I didn't say, I saw on LinkedIn, Gary just left. Like, no, but I know you're thinking about Gary because he just left 3 weeks ago. I know you're going to open that email. That's what I mean by creativity. So if everyone, again, has the same merge field opportunities and the same cold email infra and the same AI tools, who wins? The creatives, the prompt marketers.
Yeah, no, very, very interesting. And I'm sorry, Gary, you just didn't pass probation.
Gary didn't. I hope you don't actually have someone like Gary that left. But Gary,
no, we don't. It would have been good if you had named somebody that had actually just left, but all good. Look, and Nathan, conscious of time, and look, I'm like I mentioned, super excited to hang next week. Like always, great to be back in Austin. But in 3 months' time, there is SaaStock USA. Like I guess kind of outside of the conference, which is going to be great, the best SaaS event in the US in 2025. Maybe like, what are some of the things that you like to do in Austin, or you recommend that people when they're in town, should definitely be doing? Maybe a top 3.
Yeah. So highly recommend. So the event venue is very cool, right? It's like it's not downtown where you get stuck in traffic. It's right on the other side of the river, which is only like a 1-minute scooter drive or a 5-minute walk. So it's a great location. And if you're right there, you can walk across the street. You have to do Terry Black's, which is like the best barbecue in Austin, but do it at the end of the day because it will wipe you out. You'll be so tired. You want to nap, right, Alex?
Exactly. I know we did see on like so many people went there for lunch, and then the energy starts to drop like a little bit in the afternoon. So it's not the best.
Do it for dinner. Do it for dinner. So that's one thing. The second thing you should do when you come to SaaStock USA, coming up here in May 13th, 14th, is you also want to try in one of the mornings, right at the event venue, just walk down, you hit the lake, and there's a beautiful, you can either do a half mile, a mile, 4 mile, 5 mile run around the lake. If you connect with me on Strava, Nathan Latka, you'll see I run it almost 2-3 times a week. So it's a beautiful run. You can go fast, slower, just jog or walk it. That's number 2. Second, if you guys really connect with people at SaaStock, which you will, and you want to sort of do things that are not SaaS related and just talk about family and have some fun, go to, I want to make sure I get the name right. I believe it's called Oro's Karaoke Bar. It's a 3-minute walk from the event venue. It's a really good spot there as well. And then what I would say after that is if you want to do like a 6 or 7 or 8 minute Uber ride, like everyone will obviously do Rainy Street, but there's some super cool bars downtown that just are filled with like ping pong tables, for example. I think it's called like the Ping Pong Bar or something like that. That's a great thing to test out and have some fun with as well.
Awesome. Well, I've definitely walked the park and the lake, not run, but I've done the walk. Actually, what I like to do when I'm there, I'm going to do it sort of next week as well, because a little bit jet lagged, going to be waking up at 4, just hit the gym early. Like last year, I was hitting Gold's Gym with Stefan Smulders, lifting, even though he's a lot lighter than me, I was lifting some lighter weights. Next week, I'm going to be working out. And actually, I think on Thursday, I'm going to be working out with Lloyd Lobo, who I think you might know as well, and just kind of like a lot of great gyms to, I guess get that workout in, the start of the day. And then you feel better about eating a Terry Black's and then, going to a Rainy Street or 6th Street and having a few margaritas. But good tip on the karaoke. I didn't know that bar. I'm probably now, after this, go and book it out for a SaaStock party. So we own it for the evening and none of our partners take it, even though I love our partners. And we do a little party of karaoke. I think that sounds
Ego.
great.
I got it wrong. I know it was 3 letters. It's Ego, EGO, Ego's Karaoke Bar.
Oh, that's hard because, like neither me or you have an ego. So how can
no
we book
ego.
that? But no ego, no ego. We checked our egos. But good stuff, Nathan. Can't wait to hang next week. Thanks so much for being a great guest on the show. First time. It won't be the last. And yeah, SaaStock USA is going to be great. Looking forward to sharing more there about the story. of SaaSOpen and SaaStock and much more, and just connecting with people. Like, that's the best thing, right? So
there's a lot of change happening. AI, conversational agents. There'll be a lot of changes over the next 2 months. We'll hit it all at SaaStock, May 12th, 13th, 14th. Come on down to Austin. Looking forward to seeing you. And Alex, thanks for having me on today.
It's been great.